Alright guys, I'm not much on jumping around. Hunting arrowheads. Most of the time I give it all I've got. Stay in one field and let my motor cool off enough. And I hunt it out. But I was at a place and wanting to be somewhere else. And so I moved to my old stomping grounds. I hadn't been here 5 minutes, found this, and I just walked up on one. I think it's going to break my heart. Because I can see the back end looks like it's got damage. But check that thing out right there. Man. Doggone. That was the base right there. That thing would have been a square base, whatever it was. Oh, alright. I'm gonna keep on looking. Alright guys, I believe that would have been a classic capina. That's not ground right there. It would have been a heartbreaker. I mean, it's a heartbreaker either way, but I got one down in the ground right here. I don't know what it is. I wish that thing would be all there. It's got some pretty colors in it. I'm just gonna pull it out. And it's broke half in two. Alright, I'm gonna keep on looking. Alright guys, I think I got a good one right here, boy. Check that thing out. That's a sweetie right there. Yes, sir. Alright. Burning daylight. I'll show these later. Appreciate you watching. Alright guys, I think I got another pretty good one, looks like. Yep, pretty good one. Alright, here we go. Guys, just stepped out of that row, counting the rows over to step back in, and I looked and check out that baby. Alright, laying right out on top of the ground. A little bit of tip thing, but would you take it? Alright, I'll get back with you. Whether there's anything or not, I thought it could be, and I was going to get you one coming out if it was anything. There's a Dunadina. Alright, I'm going to keep watching. Alright, could be or could not be. Oh, there. Oh, it ain't either. Big gouge out the side of it, but anyway, could have been there just as easy. I'm back later on. Got another one. Looks pretty good. A big sandy. Alright. You can see it ain't gonna be much longer. I won't be able to walk this. You can see it ain't but about 18 inches, 16, 18 inches. And that the back is already a little over knee high. And I won't be able to be in here too many more times if it don't rain real quick. But anyway, if I don't get no more footage on this summer, hopefully this fall it'll be on. Appreciate you watching. Alright guys, I'm back. What a figure on that thing right there. That's that Capina Classic I found. But I failed to mention a minute ago, since last time I shot a video in this field right here, I've graduated from junior high, I guess. I've acquired me a big clock, which means I got a whole lot more time, but it also means that I'm probably gonna have to buy me an additional battery and maybe a bigger SD card. And but anyway, I still may put it on 2 or 3 parts, because you might need to go get some popcorn or something. No, I'm just kidding. But I may come across something here directly that's worth slowing down and talking about. I don't know, but this one right here looks pretty good. I don't know if it's anything worthy of talking about very long, but it looks good from what I can see of it. We're fixing to find out if it's all there or not. Look there. He just helped himself right out of there, didn't he? Alright. Beautiful. And I'm not going to be able to even get a third of this field walked. And I'm walking one end of it up so far and then going back and forth because it's nearer to the road. But yet the older stuff that I found the last time I was here is out on the far end of this field. Way out yonder. And in fact, that's where I was heading when I just now found this one. But realizing I had the big clock, I wanted you to know about it. I may not have to make a 2 or 3 part video, but then again I may. It just depends on how I feel about it. But I appreciate you watching. Maybe we can come up with something else. Alright guys, this may be the last. It's getting dark. But I've had an awesome day. I've made another small collection here today. A nice Adena. I'll get these cleaned up maybe tomorrow before I can get them on, but appreciate you watching. Alright guys, I'm back again. This is the second field I looked in, which I mentioned was my old stomping ground yesterday afternoon. I never left home till about 3 o'clock, 3:30. I'm about a half hour from these fields, and walked my Lost Lake field first and wanted to be somewhere else, so I left and went to my old stomping grounds. And I think there's roughly 85 pieces here. Of course, you got your brokes everywhere you go, more than decent finds. And I didn't get to hunt, but I was there about 2 hours and 15 minutes probably before it got so dark that I just didn't want to take a chance on not being able to see. I believe that would be translucent if I could get it to where it'd show. That would have been a beauty. The color in it's just awesome. But it's broke. But anyway, I had a good time down there. It still had a lot of fluff to the ground, and so it could still use a lot more rain. I think rained around a ½ inch down there, I think, is what some people had told me. I even picked up a piece of Indian money. Just fragments and broke pieces, and first one thing and another. Of course, all these are not broken. This tool's not broken, and this tool's probably not broken. It's just worked that way. And big hammer stone. It's all roughed up. And here's a quartz piece. I mean, it's all, if the sun was out, you could see plumb through that thing, as thick as it is. And the sun's not shining, wouldn't you know it. But I looked up through it this morning, and you could see all the way through it. It's a real nice piece, though. And I believe it was used as a grinding stone, because that's really, really smooth right there. I don't believe, it might have been a hammer stone, but it's awful smooth in some places. But you can see that at some point had cortex on it that they knocked off. But anyway, I like that, so I brought it on in. I don't find much quartz, you know, especially things that I felt like they utilized. And these over here, these are me stones, flint spalls. Notice how unrefined that is, and how rough around the edges that they are, and nothing pretty to look on, and just kind of crude, but just something in there waiting to be made. Anyway, I brought them home. And then we got on over here into some pieces that, you know, they're whole for the most part, and this is a little scraper deal, and just first one thing another, your commons. And there's all warped, tangled. Look at that thing. And they got a big old scar took out of the back of it from the tip down. And then you got your little blunts, and I didn't do too bad at all, I didn't think, for walking about 2 hours and 15 minutes. Now, the last time I was down there, I walked about 10 hours. And I could see a whole lot more then than I can now, because the tobacco's really jumped. Look at that rockhead. Got me another little beaver with the ear broke off of him. More little big sandy looks like. You've seen me pick up most of these, but I'm hoping to go back maybe a day or two this week, because I didn't get nowhere near getting it walked. And I was hoping maybe I'll be able to go back a couple of evenings after work and maybe spend, 2 or 3 hours if I got that much daylight, and walk the rest of it before it gets too big and won't be able to see nothing until this fall. But anyway, this one right here, boy, was a real shame. You seen me find that Capena Classic. And these things are just really well made. You know, I fixed this one, look. Check that out. It looks like a beauty that way, doesn't it? Some flaking on that thing. It's got real, and they're noted for having, you know, real fine primary flaking and secondary flaking as well. That may have possibly at some point had a needle tip on it. But anyway, I was glad to find it, even if it was broken. And then we got this piece here you see me pull up. It's I believe it's what they call a Johnson. Not real sure. But I was glad to find that piece. And I don't know what any of this stuff's made out of. For the most part, you get away from hornstone, I couldn't tell you. And then this one here, I'd say that's probably the best one I've got. I may have one older I'm going to show you. That's a real nice, I believe it's a broad base, big sandy. It's got a ground base on it. That's a real nice piece right there. I'm in a different spot. My wife was over there cooking around the porch and I didn't want to interrupt her or nothing. You gotta eat, you know. And this is what I think is an older piece right here. Found it down on the lower part of the field where typically the older stuff seems to come from. And I looked in the Overstreet Guide, and I believe it's, if I'm not mistaken, it's a cold water, which is transitional paleo. It's got the ground edges and the ground base. You don't find too many stemmed pieces that's ground. But that's what I would say that is. I've never found an Adena that I'm aware of, even the square base Adenas, that has been ground. You can't see the flaking in that. Oh, well. And which it doesn't have a whole lot of flaking. But anyway, I believe that's what that is a cold water point. But anyway, I hope to get back down there someday this week and maybe bring you some more, but not a bad day, I don't think, at all for 2.5 hours. So I appreciate you watching, and I'll get these up after a while, and appreciate any comments in advance. And good luck to every one of you.